Hi, Mark here, also known as Geordie Scaper, and this video is to give you a guide on using hardscape materials. This is known as an island composition, and here I'm using spiderwood and dragonstone. I also prefer to use a light coloured, natural looking substrate to enhance the overall beauty of the aquascape. It's important to take your time during this hardscape process. Doing this dry allows you to do this over a period of days, weeks, even months, until you feel happy with your creation. A mixture of smaller dragonstone pieces and large grain gravel is a great way to add some fine details to enhance the natural feel of your aquascape. I use a paintbrush, unused of course, to brush the sand and gravel between the dragonstone and partially bury them, to give the sense that they've been there for many years and they're not just sitting on top of the substrate. The hardscape is now complete. At this point I would secure the wood to the stone to prevent it from floating when filling with water. You can use epoxy, aquarium safe silicone, or simply weigh the wood down with another stone. The second aquascape style is known as a triangular composition. The wood I'm using here is driftwood and the stone is my personal favourite, ceria stone. A little word on substrate. For demonstration purposes, here I'm using decorative sand and gravel with the intention of using plants that attach to wood and stone, known as epiphytes. Of course, aquarium specific soil can be used in the setup, but it's important to ensure the soil is separated from the sand. This is achieved by using the stone and the wood as a barrier. Any smaller gaps can be filled with large grain gravel, and a great little tip is to use filter floss to fill gaps between the soil and decorative sand. Back to this particular scape, and now I'm adding the stones to create a natural look that will complement the wood while securing the wood in place, which will prevent the wood from floating. I do still prefer to add a bit more security with epoxy or silicone, just to be on the safe side, as floating wood is a scaper's nightmare. After adding the finer details with gravel and using the brush to age the stones, bury the stones, the hardscape is now complete. A closer look shows the amount of natural detail which can be achieved with only a handful of materials. In this particular case I've used 3 pieces of driftwood, 5 pieces of ceria stone and a small amount of gravel and sand. The third and final aquascape is known as a concave composition, and in this case will be made up of 2 small islands with a sandpath running between. I'm starting with the dragonstone, which is an ideal choice for stacking to create a mound at each side. While creating your compositions, aim to have your biggest pieces of wood and stone slightly to the left or slightly to the right. Without overcomplicating matters, this will allow you to create an aquascape that will flow and be more pleasing to the eye, which is known as the rule of thirds, the golden ratio, etc. in the photography world. Try and avoid the sometimes natural instinct of placing your hardscape materials right bang centre of your aquarium. It really does make a difference to the overall aesthetic. Here I'm placing the spiderwood onto the dragonstone mounds to complete the look of the 2 islands. Another quick word on substrate. If you choose to use aquarium soil, it's fine to have it fairly deep, and this can be used to create a sense of scale and depth. It's common to see a rise in height from around 1.5 inches front of tank, slope to around 3.5 inches at the back. It's okay to do this with aquarium specific soil, as water is able to circulate around the soil grains and the plant roots. Sand I would use sparingly, as the small grains compact very quickly when too deep, and this can lead to an anaerobic environment which isn't healthy for your livestock. I would have a sand substrate no deeper than 1 inch. Gravel can be deeper because of a larger grain size and will not compact like sand is. I do have one more little tip for you guys. When doing your hardscaping, it's good to bring the light back forwards in the middle, just so you can see the shades and shadows you have, especially for when you plant. So that's just a little tip for you. So that's the final composition complete. I hope this video has inspired you in some way and hopefully give you the confidence to get creative with some of the awesome materials available. So on that note, happy scaping everyone, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.